Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast. Y'all know what it is. We waiting for our people to get in the building. T Streets,
Yep.
what's good?
Chilling. What's going on?
Same old same. We got Trey. All right.
Man.
What's good with
Hey,
you?
What's good?
hey, T the type.
I seen
that. Hey, T the type of dude. He'll correct you on some shit, right? And then he'll do the exact same shit he corrected you on like 5 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? It's okay when he
seen
do
that.
it. It's okay when he do it. You know what I mean?
What's good
Well,
with y'all,
AG.
man?
Hey, bruh, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Okay? With the coaching, man. I'm back coaching again, bruh, by accident.
for real?
Oh, yeah, man. True coach want me to coach the defense, man. So
How you
I'm
feel about
like,
that?
Man, I love it though. To be honest with you, like I love the competition. Like I wanted to just sit down the whole season and just watch both my sons play, right? So I'm gonna help them out with the defense for my older son's team, but my youngest son's team, man, he got like an OG coach. He don't need no help. He good.
Oh, you say
You know
your
what
son's
I'm
team?
Yeah.
Who playing?
So True playing flag in the rookies league, and Cruz playing flag in the mites, so like the 4-year-old league. You know what I'm saying? 4-year-old to 6-year-old league.
Oh, they got a 4-year-old, 6-year-old football?
Yeah, so it's between the ages of like 4 and like 6 or 7. But my son, the smallest one, but he got, man, let me tell you something. My son got a competitiveness with him, bro, where he not tripping off his size. You know what I'm saying? He ready to go. And you know, Nori just dance. She in the dance mafia. You know what I'm saying? I done paid them $10 million in the last 3 years.
Hey, one thing about it, with kids sports and all that, you definitely gonna come out the pocket, bro.
Bruh.
That's an automatic.
But I see her confidence is like through the roof now, dog. So, you know, it's all worth it. I'm trying to get her to switch over to volleyball though, for real.
It does develop, you know, their social skills.
Absolutely.
All that stuff, man.
Absolutely.
AG.
What up, AG?
Hello.
AG
Yo.
in the building was good.
How's everybody? Good evening.
Good evening.
Man,
Good
man,
evening.
it's beautiful out here, bro. I feel like it's like 65. It's like 60 out here, bro. I
Hey,
got
you
my
know,
shoes on.
it's gonna be hot this weekend, and next week I seen it's gonna be in the 90s, man. It's like the summer started late or something.
Bruh, global warming. Global warming. That's all that is, bro. It's gonna be. It was already 70 degrees on Christmas 2 years ago. People forget that. It was 70 degrees on Christmas.
Yeah, no,
So
I remember that.
it might be 90 on Halloween. It
Nah,
might be
I don't
90.
think it's gonna rock like
Bruh, it might be, dog. It might be, man. How was y'all week? E, how was your anniversary, bruh?
It was dope, but you know what?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna keep it real, right?
Uh-oh.
So on our 10th anniversary, you know, we did it big because that was like a milestone. And I think that because we did it that way, this being the 11th, we didn't really do nothing. And we didn't post about it. We didn't do anything. And so because of that, I was like, well, damn, I thought about it. And the funny thing about it is that on my, I got a mouse pad, which is a picture of the groomsman who was in my wedding.
Okay.
And when I look on there, it's like 5 people who are divorced now
Bruh,
out of my groomsmen, right? And then I think about, I know 5 more people since the time me and my wife got married that are also divorced. They either on their second marriage or they don't have anyone at the moment, right? So it made me think about it. And I told my wife, I was like, look, you know, I understand that we both kind of dropped the ball on this, on this particular year, but we can never let another year go without really celebrating. And it ain't about posting because I don't give a fuck about what people see or what they, whatever, you know what I mean? But just in terms of me and her, I just said that we all, and we probably go out this weekend or next weekend, but I don't want us to ever take it that lightly like we did this time. You know what I mean? And so We did go to a little comedy joint, Joe Claire.
Okay.
For those who know,
Hey,
don't
Joe
know,
Claire.
Joe Claire is a
Joe Cleasy.
hometown comedian, and he has these some shows that's local in Bowie.
Yeah.
And so we went to that. Now, I didn't expect the crowd to be as old as it was. We getting out the car. I'm like, man, it's like grandma. Hey, my wife was like, you know what? We official old heads. And I'm like, what's going on? Right? So then I get in the joint and I see my man. And and I go over to him. I'm like, oh, you see the crowd kind of. He was like, yeah, man, my girl was just like, it's your mom and them friends up this joint.
Hey,
so
bro,
like, it was cool, but I just didn't expect. It was cool, but I just didn't expect an older crowd like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was it, man. Blessed to, have 11-year joint. But
so we gotta have a pod. The name of the pod is gonna be called The Groomsmen, and we're gonna just have all your groomsmen on here. And we're going to learn from all the groomsmen, right? So the day after yours was mine.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So with me, drop the kids off because everybody know I have multiple children. Okay? I have too many children. So we dropped them off. We found a babysitter. We went out. You know what I mean? Nice restaurant. RPM. It was dope. Parking, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta know somebody to get a damn parking spot over there. So boom. Nice. As soon as I walked in there, I found somebody. I said, listen, this is what I need you to do. Take this ring, bring it over to this table at this time. Cool. The dude I was talking to, right? He was like, bro, I just got married 3 weeks ago. So he showed me the room. This showed me the ring. True story. His name is Eddie. And he was like, yo, yeah, I'll do it. So I just walked up to a random dude that I thought worked in the restaurant. Luckily, he did, right? He's standing by the door, right? I'm like, yo, bring the ring over later. Tell her, yeah, you dropped something. He's like, yeah, I got you. So we eating, bro. The food was okay. I think that I could make a better chicken palm because men are the best cooks, right? Everybody knows that. So boom, we eating, right? Boom, everything's fine. Everything's fine, bro. About an hour in, everything's dope. We're talking to the other couple right next to us. She's 40, he's 38. They still not married. She hating on us because we married 11 years, yada yada. So my man Eddie. So I'm like, where the fuck is Eddie? You see what I'm saying? Did Eddie leave with my shit, right? So I'm kind of getting a little bit nervous. The check is about to come. Right before the check comes, here's Eddie. Eddie brings over the ring. Oh, man, we dropped this outside. Bam. Gave it an upgrade ring. I'm the man. I'm the man for the next 10 years. Just
you did the upgrade ring? That's dope,
I did the upgrade. Bro, I'm good for 10 years, bro. I'm good.
Dope, bro.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, on the anniversary, thank you, man. So, on the anniversaries, bro, we just try to keep it, to keep it what it is. You know what I mean? But that's dope, man. The comedy show, bro. That's what it is,
it was
bro.
Cool.
You dig? Y'all
Yes,
already
sir.
got the mini mansion, so you ain't even really got.
Nah, we
you
ain't
don't
got
got travel. You don't got travel like that.
No, we ain't doing Slim.
But nah, we good, bro.
Well, yeah.
That was my anniversary, dog.
That's what's up. Well, welcome everybody to the Rec Room Podcast. This is episode 29, I believe. So we almost 30, man. I can't believe this, fellas.
Flying. What to celebrate?
Shit's so dope, bro. So episode 29, and I'm proud of that. And tonight's episode, the title of tonight's episode is the buying freeze, and we're gonna talk about the spike interest rates with loans and stuff like that. Lack of homes for sale. We're gonna ask the question: will the current market, is it gonna make people stop buying or what? You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into that. You got me as your host. I go by E1. We got T Streets in the building.
Yo.
We got Trey Philando.
We here, baby.
And we got my man AG.
Hello.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with and you guys are Virginia guys, so I'm sure you all gonna love this. I'm pretty sure, right? So we're gonna start off with some sports. And I didn't know that this person is from Alexandria, Virginia, but now I do know.
Yes,
so
sir.
Noah Lyles, Alexandria's own, wins the gold medal in the 100 meter, 200 meter, and the 4-time 100
Smash.
relay at the world championship, right? So it says the fastest man on the planet is an Alexandrian. Now, not to mention, he got the keys to y'all city, man. And so it says Noah Lyles cemented his place in history last week with the hat trick at the 2023 World Athletic Championships in Budapest, Hungary, by winning the 100-meter and 200-meter races, and brought home the gold for Team USA to anchor in the 400, I don't know how you say it, 4 times 100 relay, right? Yep. So it says Lyles, who raced 4 by 100, yeah. Oh, 4 by 100, okay. Lyles, who raced to his third straight 200-meter championship, was also the first man to win both the 100-meter and 200-meter races since Usain Bolt in 2015. He's now poised to take on the competition next year in the Olympics in Paris, France. How do y'all feel about that?
There's something in the water out here because a lot of beautiful people come from Alexandria, Virginia, and the D.C. area and Southern Maryland, PG County, to be exact.
In the building.
Hey, so no, it's beautiful to see hometown people make it. You know, we are a wealth of great athletes, entertainers, philosophers, you know, even businesses. So I love to see it. Sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the gentleman that made that comment?
Exactly. So exactly. Yeah. So I was gonna say he won, and I think he was kind of feeling himself.
Yeah.
And he had something to say about the NBA for some reason. I'm gonna play what he said.
Please.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world.
We are the
We
world.
have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
So that's what he had to say, right? So I don't know what that was about.
Hey, bro,
you can find greatness in Alexandria, and then you can find some Bama shit.
Let's file that under some Bama moves. Bama move.
So after he said that, right, you had NBA players kind of chime in, like KD, Udonis Haslem. And they all kind of just like, dude, what you talking about, right? So now, even though he said that on social media, you had a lot of mixed. It seemed like a lot of mixed. A lot of people were saying, well, I know y'all don't want to hear it, but he's right. And then they brought up something Greg Popovich, who's the coach of the San Antonio Hall of Fame. Well, he will be in the Hall of Fame. Coach with the San Antonio Spurs. He had put out something in 2010 basically saying the same thing that that Noah Lyles was saying. So I don't know if he looked at that and then said it or what. I don't know. It's mixed emotions. But I want to ask you all, do you all think that when the NBA wins, they should be called world champions, or do you all agree with him?
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, AJ.
No, I think T. I like T's side. I like where T's going with this
T,
already. Go ahead, T. Cook.
Listen, if he was from another country and he said that, I'm rocking with him. The fact that you are an American, the NBA, American sport, don't make the statement.
Yeah.
It just sounds idiotic. I don't care if I agree that you're right or not. It sounds idiotic.
Okay. I couldn't agree more, because I mean, how do you take your platform? You just won running, right?
Right.
You're in Hungary. I'm pretty sure Hungary beefs with Turkey whenever they get hungry. No pun intended. But what I'm saying is, why do you choose that moment to say what you just said? Because you're actually insulting people. Read the room. And also, kind of like to backtrack, why I do believe that you are the world champion in the NBA is because the NBA is made up of world athletes. You look at the NBA now, you have people representing pretty much from all over the world. So in my opinion, I look at it as the best of the best. And when we do the Olympics, you do have people in other countries that just so happen to be playing in the NBA. And those people playing in the NBA are the best players of that country. So that's not by accident. That's by design. So, you know, if you look a little deeper into it, you can see that. But to T's point, if it was somebody from another country, I would get it. but somebody just so happened to be from Alexandria, Virginia, TC Williams, no hate. Like that was wrong.
Bang bang.
That's a problem. You just don't pop up and say that. Who are you? Who are you trying to impress? Ice Spice? She don't like you. It's okay. Move on.
Hey, listen, whoa, nothing wrong with Ice Spice. She in the mood. Ice Spice, Sexy Red. Yeah.
But it seemed like he was just trying to have my whole thing is, where did it come from? I don't. Right. They asked him a question, and he's talking about, you know what I hate. Why don't you just focus on celebrating your win? I mean, I don't understand why you pulled that. I mean, maybe it made me think maybe his goal was to be in the NBA and it didn't work out and he did. I mean, I don't know that, but I'm just trying to figure out what would make you just say that.
Or he might not be a basketball fan, like honestly. But actually, he's absolutely correct in the statement, but it was the wrong time. But at the same time, it just cuts to him saying that. Like, we don't know what the dialogue was, but I do agree with T about, you making that was like a real random statement. But the statement that what he was saying is actually true. Because we have Olympians that represent America that's doing a thing, and it's not the main Olympics, but it's like what is it, T? What's going on now with the
Pan Am?
Olympic team? Yeah,
the Pan Am?
Those games, right? So technically, I totally understand what he was saying. It was just the environment in which he said it in. It sounded so random, like he had a grudge against somebody. But what he said is actually true. The NBA is just in the United States, so those teams are national. They're not. The Lakers don't play Russia. You see what I'm saying? So in the Olympics, you have the USA national team, yes, that's representing. So that's what he was saying. But I just don't know why he would pick that. AG was right. My man was happy. He was on the high. He was just like, I've been training for this since I was 8. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, but why he picked the NBA? That's the random part about it. I would like to know his thought process on why he picked the NBA. That's all.
Did he ever clarify that? Did he ever?
I'm
pretty sure.
That's the thing. But the statement that he made was actually a true statement.
It may be a true statement, but I could put some more. It would be more valid to me.
Yeah.
If other countries had the same caliber talent as the NBA. But the way he's saying it in a way as such as if the U.S. played these other countries, they would lose, and we all know that that's not true. So it's like you're making a comment.
Well, we had some Olympic teams.
We've lost.
That lost.
Let me be clear.
Puerto Rico beat USA.
Puerto Rico was the first team.
King Brian lost. King Brian got a bronze medal there.
So look,
not Jordan though.
So I understand.
Not Jordan, not the GOAT.
But okay, so I think the stat is 13 out of 15, right?
Right, yeah, you right. Go ahead.
13 out of 15, right?
Keep going. Yeah, 13 out of 15.
So 13 out of 15 is still they might not be undefeated, but it still shows that the talent is.
We dominate.
It's no debate.
We dominate,
right?
We dominate, yeah.
So I don't know why he said that, but to keep it on sports, right?
I don't know why he said that, bro.
And I don't know why we had to say anything about Nas. I can't believe
Nas dropped. That's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna keep it moving. So to keep it in sports, Shannon Sharpe, right? Shannon Sharpe is a retired football player, Hall of Famer, tight end who played for the Denver Broncos and also the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if he played for any other team, but those are the teams that stick out to me. And he was a host on this show called Undisputed on Fox FS1 with Skip Bayless. And he was on the show for a long time, and he got his popularity up. And then he ended up doing his own pod called Club Shay Shay. And he ended up leaving Skip Bayless. Now, no one really knows the exact reason because Shannon Sharpe hasn't given the reason. Now, there's been speculation, and everybody gives their opinion on what they think, but Shannon Sharpe never released an official statement on why he left. So it was a hiatus for that show. And but now news has come out that the first thing is that Shannon Sharpe is going to be doing our first take with Stephen A. Smith starting sometime in September.
September 4th.
September 4th, okay. And it's official. And he'll be there on Mondays and Tuesdays. So that's like his part-time gig. But I think one of the things that Shannon Sharpe was trying to do is basically build his own brand. And with that being said, Shannon Sharpe signed a multi-year deal, and he takes his Club Shay Shay podcast to
Partnership,
please explain
Club Shay Shay, to Colin Coherds, the volume, right?
Yeah.
Now, Colin Coherds, he gets on my nerves sometimes, but so
he's big in the game.
I'm gonna just read a little bit of the article from you tripping over there, but you said he was Trey. What is he?
What'd you say, Trey?
Come on,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Hey, come on.
What is he, Trey?
Man, go ahead, bro. Hey, man, go ahead and read the. Hey, man, go ahead and read the statement, dog.
Well, you gotta read something else besides that statement, brother.
Let me go ahead. Let me get. Hey, what Jay-Z said, he said, I don't have to pause. I don't do the pauses.
Okay.
Y'all heard what I said. I said what I said. I said he big over there.
Oh, no, you kidding. Oh,
hey,
no.
Go ahead, man. Go
Let me
ahead,
read
bro.
it, Joy. All right, so it says, you can't keep a good talent down for long, and one of the greatest tight ends of all time is a prime example of that. Click inside to read Shannon Sharpe's next move, right? Wow. So it says, it was announced today, August 23rd, which was, I guess, about a week ago. Yeah,
about a week or so.
The NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay, has found a new home. The podcast will be moving to The Volume, the digital network and podcasting hub founded by sports host Colin Coherds. On top of moving his podcast over to the network, Sharpe's company, Shay Shay Media, will also jointly produce new programming with The Volume. After being founded in 2021, The Volume has went on to host more than a dozen podcasts from well-known sports names, including Coherds, Draymond Green, Richard Sherman, and Daniel Cormier. It also produces video content across social media channels. In 2022, the podcast network generated 330 million downloads. So he's with a beast. Yeah, powerhouse.
We gotta clap it up for Club Shay Shannon Sharpe.
Definitely got.
That is dope.
As T said, man, it's a partnership. It's a partnership. There's a difference. When you have ownership, you can partner with people, and that's what and that's big. What he's doing, he has a job which provides income, and then he has a piece of something where I'm pretty sure that they have a little bit of ownership on what he's doing. And he has ownership in what he's doing, and that's beautiful. That's what scaling is all about. So salute to him.
And that's dope. And that's
it's a great show.
Yes.
And it's a great show. And from Shannon Sharpe, because for real, he was supposed, he wasn't even, like, his brother was supposed to be the superstar.
Right.
His brother Sterling Sharpe was on his way to being the Hall of Famer. He was that dude, man. And then you like, oh yeah, he was known that was Sterling Sharpe brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then, but you saw like, yo, this dude Shannon Sharpe is a beast at tight end, and then his older brother had got hurt, but he always had a knack for the media. Like when he would go on you, during in the media. He would beef with people like during the post game conferences, post game press conference. And he'll be hilarious, right? But he took that knack and he done transformed that whole thing into where he is now, man. And definitely salute to Shay Sharpe, man.
Well, let me ask y'all something. Do you all watch The Big Three?
I watch it sometimes. Okay. I was trying to go to the playoffs.
In person. Yeah,
I was in Philly because they were just here for the playoffs 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so The Big Three is a league that was, I believe it was founded by Ice Cube.
Yes.
Correct.
And this is a league where it's 3-on-3, half court. And basically what they do is they get a lot of players who are retired from the NBA, or not even some that are retired, some who are like still trying to get into the league but haven't made it, got cut, or all different type of circumstances. And so the league has been kind of growing. But Ice Cube has been on interviews basically saying that he feels like I was about to say David Stern, but I can't think of the commissioner now for the NBA, but basically trying to say that Silver, yes, right? saying that he's kind of been blocking the progression in terms of the big three getting sponsorship. And he feel a way about that, so he's been voicing his opinion. But something that's dope happened for the big three had like an all-star weekend, like a championship game mixed with all-star celebrity games and stuff like that. And Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics actually played in one of the games, right? So it says Jaylen Brown shocks Adam Silver and NBA players in Ice Cube's Big Three All-Star game. The issues between Ice Cube and Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, has been well documented as Cube has went on a podcast run recently saying that the NBA has been trying to blackball him. Jaylen Brown took a huge step by playing in the Big Three All-Star game in London. You know, what's more shocking is Brown just signed one of the largest deals in NBA history. And for real, man,
the big $300 million man.
The biggest deal.
For him to do something like that, man, it says a lot. And he said when he just signed his contract that he was trying to build like almost a black Wall Street in Boston, Massachusetts. And I just think for a young guy to even be thinking this way, for him to play in this league, he didn't have to do that, man. He's going against the odds. I just think that was dope. I'm gonna clap it up for him, man.
That was historic for him to do that, bro.
Yeah, you gotta clap it up. Yep. But you better beware, because them whites, they're gonna get you.
They gonna get you.
Hey, so what you think gonna happen, T Street?
All I know,
they gonna take their contract back.
Nah, you better not have another 10 turnover game.
The Ja Morant clause. The Ja Morant. But listen, go ahead.
It already happened. You feel me? It already happened. That's the dope part about the NBA. It's like, what's it? The guarantees are like the biggest. Next to what like soccer or whatever, or baseball. But so it's over with. It's over with.
No. They can discredit him and get that shit ripped up.
Well, listen. Well, that's fine. They can attempt to besmirch him or whatever they want, but
besmirch. Wow.
The NBA players.
Hey, what you
have two words, bro.
That was dope, man. What you just say?
Besmirch. You know what besmirch means?
I don't.
Break it down. Trey, break it. Yes, you do, sir. Well,
besmirch means to try to discredit or try to slander, right?
Wow.
So
adjective.
The dope part in it, T, is if he had the 10 turnover game and that was the last time you seen him, and then you see him at the Big Three. No, the last thing we know about you is you got 300 M's.
Yep.
You got 300 of them things, and then you said you about to try to rebuild Black Wall Street in Boston. He said that.
Such a racist.
The most racist.
It's such a racist place, bro.
Then I took my black ass to a black-owned league.
Sports league.
Right.
Sports league by motherfucking Ice Cube.
What a statement.
Ice Cube, Mr. Fuck the Police himself.
Yes.
You think I'm tripping off of Adam Silver? So the thing is, so he's waiting on Adam Silver to say something. So what you saying? I couldn't go play, but the other NBA players can go play at the Rucker. We can go to fundraising events that you guys say it's okay to go to. So you saying I can't go to an event because the owner is black, or like what's the problem here?
It just reminds me a lot of Patrick Mahomes to a degree, because when he became highly paid, that kind of set the precedence, right? Jalen Hurts getting the bag. This is good, because I don't know if y'all know how educated Jalen is. Have you seen any interviews where he's kind of expressed?
He's super smart, bro.
But do you understand the pedigree and the education and the experiences that he has? Like if he tells you that his internships or his understanding of financial literacy and what he can do and the impact that he can do, just look at his actions. This is chess, not checkers, right? His actions are very clear where he stands and the influence that he's having. He's using it. And that's what I think is very dope about players now. Like Bron, what he does, again, great player. He's a generational player, still going strong at his age.
He's the GOAT.
Look at his statements when the time presents itself. He never backed down. He never shot away. He's very clear.
Not like Jordan did.
I'm not gonna say never, but most 97% of the time.
Okay, but that's good.
That's a very good field goal
is
percentage, sir.
100%.
Right.
That's 100%.
We round up around here in the rec room. And by the way, with all these deals that are going on, the rec room is not for sale. We're not going to be under anybody's umbrella. We own this.
Now we really in the rec room.
Only partnerships. Only partnerships.
Exactly like my good brother T just said. Continue. I just wanted to make that clear to the sponsors.
So I think we get into one more.
on fire tonight. Damn.
We're gonna get into one more.
We kill pods
story.
for fun.
Now I just had this joint. I think I'm gonna let T report on it because I found it. So I'm gonna let if T got it pulled up, I'm gonna just get a title and I'm gonna let T Street. So it says from Hip Hop DX says LL Cool J blast rappers for fucking their legacy. Fans think he's talking to Jay-Z. T Street, you got it in front of you, my brother.
No. I know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm gonna read it, right? So it says, LL Cool J has called out rap veterans who now only make sporadic appearances in the hip hop space, and many fans think he was referring to Jay-Z. During a Friday, August 25th performance of his Force tour in Houston, LL took a minute to bring attention to MCs who have eased into their legacy by becoming inactive as performers and recording artists. He said, let me shout out to all you rappers trying to play Mystery Man. Stop fucking up your legacy. He said, without saying any names, get on this goddamn stage. And he said, it wasn't too long before fans began speculating that the comment was aimed at Jay-Z, who has had a complicated relationship dating back to Hove days as an executive at Def Jam, right?
That's true.
It says LL is arguably more important to hip hop than Jay-Z ever was. On social media, that's what they're saying. User commented under the TikTok, right? And so I don't know if he was talking to Jay-Z or not. He was talking to somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never really thought about it because Jay-Z doesn't do concerts all the time, but it seemed like I thought he did little spot dates here and there, but I haven't really paid attention to it.
But does he need to?
So do y'all? But why not though? Because
he doesn't need to. Because you lose money doing it. Like why? He did the Paris show. Paris show.
So what? Paris.
I don't want to embarrass anybody, but let's be honest. That's Mr. Knowles internationally.
Okay.
Jay is hot. Jay is hot in the United States, and that's okay, and that's perfectly fine. But you know, he ain't doing Bad Bunny numbers. He's not doing Taylor Swift numbers.
Okay, so
he's not doing those numbers. So if he can't do those numbers, why go on tour when he has other business ventures that do those numbers for him?
Because this is why. Because we know you from your music, and you have fans that will come out. Now LL was been trying to get at Jay over that personal
the Imaginary Hustler joint.
No. Well, you know
how far back you want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, LL wanted to do the verses against Jay. He wanted to do the verses against them.
We got to go back further than that.
No.
I'm talking about when he wasn't signed. Jay wasn't even signed, and he said, "Well, I got the when LL laughed it off when he got beat by Jay. Word on the street." Yeah. And LL rolled off and said, "Well, I got the record contract and you don't."
Yeah. I mean,
well, tell me this though. I was gonna say, I know that LL is on tour, but before this, when was the last tour?
When was the last time he was doing a tour? And it's because he owns Rock the Bell.
He owns which is the dopest hip hop station.
It is a dope hip hop station.
Yeah. But also, you got to take this into account. This is the 50th year of hip hop, and LL. The rumor is LL tried to get him to perform at his Rock the Bells 50th theme concert. I don't know if it took place already or if it's going to take place before the year's out. I'm not sure.
He said it was some anger reading, so maybe that was it. Yeah, because he sounded like a little.
But Jay don't owe him anything, and Jay is a man like anything, and again, I'm not going to go into the alpha and the beta male tendency.
You're not gonna.
Because I'm actually gonna defend Jay on this one because he doesn't know anybody anything.
Can you believe this?
I'm saying I'm defending.
This is a moment in history, man.
But you know who was on there in Yankee Stadium? Nas.
Please don't say it. No, bro. No, bro.
Nah.
And shout out to Cam getting them 8 figures and still shouting out Nasty Nas.
Cam.
Best MC.
That's why we not even gonna go over that story. Just because of that. Just because of that. That's why we ain't going over
literacy, bro.
Hey, no more Nas.
Jay don't owe that man anything. Let me tell you, man. Jay, I salute Jay because he understands his value and his worth. We all can agree on that, right? And I know for a fact Jay loves this music and this culture and this art form. He gives it up.
Of course.
But let me tell you, the art form don't normally like you as much as you like it. You can't love something that can't love you back. And the hate that man has when he hasn't done anything, in my opinion, lately, like he doesn't owe. Why does he have to do a tour? And why does he have to help LL?
Check it out. But check it out. So I already know the answer to the question. I just wanted to argue for the sake of it. He was talking about the rapper Jalil from Houdini when he made that comment, right? Because I actually watched the performance. You see what I'm saying? So he performed the Houdini song, but he was talking about why Houdini wasn't there performing their own song.
Okay.
So and which adds on to what Fat Joe was talking about the OGs from the early '80s who are demanding 50,000 just to show up to when they're trying to name a street after you. They're trying to show you love.
Okay.
And you got certain guys that the day before the street honoring, they want $50,000 cash. So you got Fat Joe. These dudes are in their 50s already talking about the dudes in their 60s. Like, yo, people are trying to honor y'all a la Melly Mel, right? We got people that's trying to honor y'all, but you guys are acting too sedity. Y'all not trying to do shows. Y'all not trying to come to y'all street honorings. It's just a lot of arrogance with that. But that's really who he was aiming at. I think that LL, bro, is in his own lane, just like Jay's in his own lane. These dudes is rich, bro. You see
Bottom line,
they're not really tripping.
So with that being said, right, we're gonna get into tonight's topic, right? And tonight's title of the show is called the Buying Freeze. And I don't know if everyone knows, but a lot of people know, man, just the prices on everything has just went up when it comes to gas, insurance. I mean, food, you name it. It just seems like they just making it where they're trying to separate where it's only going to be rich and poor. That's what it feels like to me. So with that being said, you know, the interest rate on houses and stuff like on loans and stuff has really went up high. So we're going to talk about spiked interest rates, the lack of homes for sale. And then we're going to, you know, ask, you know, people who are in the market to buy, are you still in the market? Do you feel you should wait it out? Do you think it will ever change? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give it to my man T Streets. Trez Philando, because he had a great article on what's going on. So go ahead, Trey.
Okay,
get with it.
So let me I'm gonna pull up. So I wanna.
You're not as loud. You might be looking at something.
No.
There you go.
I wanna start off with I want to talk to the people who are looking to buy a home, right, for the first time, and them not really being educated on how interest rates play a huge part in that process. So I'm pulling that up right now, and I have it right here in front of me, where it talks about what exactly is interest rate, right, and why it affects you as a first time home buyer. Hold on one second, y'all. T, talk, T. Start talking. Talk about
I had a dream.
You had a dream about
what was that dream, T?
What was the dream about, T?
I don't really want to talk about it. It's depressing. It was a very depressing dream.
Okay.
Didn't expect to hear that. Okay.
You put me on the spot. I wasn't ready.
So check it out. So basically, what is an interest rate? To put it simply, interest rate is the price you pay to borrow money, whether that's a student loan, a mortgage, or a credit card. When you borrow money, you generally must pay back the original amount you borrow, plus a certain percentage of the loan amount as interest. So I was talking to some people today, notably a friend of the show, our guy Darius. So Darius is looking to purchase his first home. He's almost 30. It's a goal of his. So he basically wanted to know, AG, and you can help me out with
Yeah,
this.
man. I'm here.
Talking about, is it a good time to buy? Also, are these rates that we are seeing the highest ever? So let me answer half of that question, AG, and then we can get into it. So at present time, the interest rates are over 7%,
Yep.
which is huge. But looking back in history, the highest mortgage rates in history were in the 1980s. A regular 30-year fixed mortgage rate hit their peak at 18.63%. 18.63%. It's only 7% now, which is being raised because of the inflation, right?
Right.
So what that affects is your overall money as far as your mortgage payment monthly. So I'm gonna pass it to AG, but I'm gonna come back and we're just gonna add on to how it affects you trying to get into an actual home.
Let me break it down. So, give you some background. When I was in my mid-20s, I entered the mortgage business. I started off doing refinances. I did very well for myself, working 60-hour work weeks, 7 days a week. And what I ended up doing was managing the Hispanic division in my mid-20s. Now, I have extensive knowledge and information on what it was, and I got out of the business when the housing market collapsed. We're not at that point. Now, let me be clear. I always encourage people to buy versus renting, right? Because you and everybody, if you're listening to this live, if you're listening to a clip of this, however you can, please comment. Do you currently own a home? Are you looking to buy a home, or are you renting? I'm kind of curious to get that, but I want to break it down like this. The interest rate is one of the most important factors whenever getting a loan from a bank. Why is that? Because it factors into your DTI, your debt to income. And that means that you are earning X amount of dollars per month. Your monthly payment is going to be Y, and you have Z left over. And if a bank considers you a risk because your DTI is too high, whether that be over 45% or higher, you're not going to get the loan because you can't afford the loan.
Can't afford it.
So that's why it's important to know what the interest rates are, because it impacts you. Now, a key factor of this is what Trey already mentioned, and that is stave off inflation. They're doing this on purpose because about a year and a half ago, we were looking at 3% loans for now that they're going for. So they've more than doubled because they're trying to slow down the economy, right? They said it's moving too fast. We want to stave off inflation. This is why we're doing. They let us know beforehand. So I'm going to be honest. The only reason it was that low to begin with was because they were trying to quell a crisis and to stimulate the economy. The economy no longer needs stimulation. So the time that they do extremes and when extremes are happening. So because it's one extreme, the interest rates are high. So now for anybody who's looking to buy a home, you will not be able to afford that much of a monthly payment or that much of a home. And that keeps you in a renting space. Why that's not good is because home ownership is the quickest and the best way to starting your economic development in this country and actually owning something.
Absolutely.
And having some type of wealth to your name. So this is preventing many people from owning a home because the interest rates are what they are. So right now, the interest rates, average interest rates, about 7.5 on a 30-year fixed rate. Now, typically when you buy a home, you have to put money down. And we're going to get into that topic later, but there are several programs, but typically it's a 20% down payment. Why you need to know that is because right now there's something unique happening in the market. There's not a lot of supply. There's a high demand, not enough supply. And what's happening is it's driving the pricing of homes higher than they normally should in a lot of cases. So why that's important to know is that there's a chance if you buy now, it's going to take every bit of 6, 8, 10 years to get back to the amount that you're paying right now for this house. So unless you have 20% to put down. Let's say you're financing 97% or even 100%, which a lot of loans are right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not moving in the next couple years.
Right. So just to add on to what you're saying, AG, and I'm gonna toss it back to you in a second. But we had a question: do higher interest rates make it harder to qualify for a home loan? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Right. And this is from the Washington Post, because higher interest rates mean your monthly mortgage payment will also be higher. The income required to qualify for a home loan goes up too. When rates were 2.9%, for example, the average borrower needed an income of $133,450 to buy a $750,000 home with, like you said, AG, a 20% down payment, right? Explains Hope Morgan, branch manager at the Mortgage Network in Salisbury, Maryland. At a rate of 6.9%, that same loan would require an income of $195,700. So it shows you with a 4% increase, you have to earn an extra $60,000. The monthly payment would increase from $3,114 to $4,567.
That's $1,000 more.
That's a huge. That's a huge.
Yep.
So a lot of companies a lot of builders are coming to these first time home buyers, everybody, and they're trying to give them more money towards their down payment. But the issue is how much you are coming to the table as far as cash to buy down the points, so your monthly payment is not so high.
Right.
But another thing I was going to say is I remember, so I'm going to go over, AG had touched on the primary benefits, the benefits of, owning versus renting, right?
Yeah.
And what I also want to say is I remember, before I get into that, I remember when we purchased our house. And also what people need to know is
the mansion. Go ahead.
The mansion. But what they do is they tap into your history, right?
Yes, they do.
And
there you go.
You fill out so much paperwork, and you're basically explaining your life, right?
Everything.
And so what I would say is, if you have debt or you owe, or all that makes a difference. If you owe a lot on a credit card, I mean, just bills, period, that you have, if you don't take care of those before you move, you may not even get approved for the loan. That's the first thing, right?
Make sure your credit score is good too.
Yep. For sure, because that affects the interest rate. So I'm just going to read what Liberty Home Guard has as the 5 primary benefits of owning versus renting. And I'm just saying this, right? Everybody is in a different financial space in their life. So people do what they have to do. I know people who have rented, have been renting for their whole life. And then some people purchase. So this is just what you want to do. But these are the benefits, right? So it says the first one is accruing equity. It says a conversation about buying versus renting a home must touch upon equity. Few people have the opportunity to buy a home outright, right? So it says, hence the necessity of a mortgage. As you pay off your mortgage, you start to build equity. That is a portion of the home that you own. When you sell your home, you can pocket the equity you have built over time. Equity also enables you to take out a home loan, a home equity loan, which can help you finance major expenses such as college costs, home remodeling. It says you can't build a home equity as a renter, right? So if your rent is $2,000 per month, that is money you will never see again. That's number one, right? And so it says number 2, reduce living costs over time. Mortgage payments tend to be less than monthly rent payments, but there are more costs associated with home ownership. If you own a home, additional costs to consider are property taxes, utilities, homeowners insurance, and a variety of maintenance costs. Renters may pay for some utilities and optional but recommended renter's insurance, but the average monthly cost of owning a home often exceeds that of renting one. That said, homeowners eventually pay off their mortgages. And I want to talk about that too. When that time comes, monthly expenses are drastically reduced. This means an older homeowner can enjoy lower living expenses relative to someone continuing to rent a home.
So
the third one, I'm gonna just read all 5 and then we can
go ahead, bro.
Back, right?
Go ahead, bro.
The third is tax advantages, right? Home ownership provides several tax benefits that renters do not qualify for. Perhaps the most notable tax benefit is the mortgage interest deduction, which allows homeowners to deduct from their taxable income the amount they paid in interest on their mortgage. Homeowners may also deduct what they have paid toward property taxes and homeowners insurance premiums. There are many other benefits that sometimes vary by state. Some states, for example, offer tax credits for homeowners who update their homes to be more energy efficient. The fourth one is ownership of an appreciating investment. Home values usually tend to go up over time. There can be periods in which these assets depreciate, and the rate of appreciation varies by location. But a well-maintained home is a safe, stable investment that enables the expansion of a homeowner's personal wealth. A homeowner can realize these gains when selling the home. Renters, of course, do not benefit from the appreciation of the property of which they live. In fact, renters lose money over time as the cost of rent inches up after year, right? After each year. And the last one, it says freedom and stability. The financial benefits of home ownerships are numerous, but there's something to be said about the autonomy that homeowners can enjoy. If you own your home, you can update it however and whenever you like. You have the final say when it comes to landscaping, painting, appliances, and so on. Renters, on the other hand, are restricted to what their landlords will permit. Owning a home also offers more stability than renting. There's not the worry of the landlord declining to renew a lease. The reality of renting is that sometimes renters have to scramble to find a new place to live. Finally, building equity and owning an appreciating investment will provide financial stability too. If you're debating if buying or renting a home is right for you, consider that you can enjoy a more stable, unrestricted lifestyle when owning a home.
Bruh, that's a beautiful alley-oop. And I ain't even going to get too deep into it because I want to let AG and T jump back into it. So the new game with that is everything that you just said, corporate knows that. Corporate builders, which is why instead of the apartments model, they are building single family homes where you have corporations that are buying up homes that are for sale in certain neighborhoods, not to resell them, but to only rent them. So not only are they buying homes for sale, they're building communities. These communities are only for rent. So it's a genius predatory tool because you're in a home, you're in a new house that you will never, ever own. So you have 68,000 right now, 68 right around the corner from me, right across the street from my kid's school. They had a big sign up, new homes for rent. I was like, I'm trying to understand what that means, new homes for rent. So they will never sell them to you. You will get comfortable there and you will live there for a long time. You can never build equity. And by the way, the rents will increase. So you have 68,000 new single family homes being built. That's a 31% increase over the previous year. I'm bringing that up to say ownership is the key. Like that's the point of what we're talking about, of what he just talked about the equity. The key is in the equity. It's in ownership. The actual corporations are building fantastic, beautiful looking places that you can come pay them up to $2,200 a month and up because it's no rent cap. So the key is in home ownership. Actually, Darius is in the chat, and he had a question about the interest rates. How can he get a lower
Credit?
interest rate? If you have Yes, but that is
Well,
right.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Has a lot
Bigger
of
down
factors.
payment.
That's a bigger down payment. You can buy down the interest rate. It's all about your APR, right? It could be 7.5. You can even do an ARM. You want me to get funky with you? Let me let y'all know how to get rich real quick. Don't do a fixed rate when the interest rates are as high as they are right now. Do an ARM, a 5-1 ARM.
Shorter.
Do an ARM. It's a shorter period of time where it's fixed, but you can always refinance. But now here's the kicker.
You gotta be careful though.
You gotta be careful because there's something that you can't do. You can't refinance a home that's not worth what you paid for.
There you go.
So if you owe $500,000 and the home value, because the interest rates have gone up, it's now at from 500 to 450 or 400. You can't refinance.
So AG, not to cut you off, right? Yeah. So for those who don't know what a refinance is, right? I'm just going to give the definition.
Oh yeah, 100, 100. Yeah.
So it says loan refinancing refers to the process of taking out a new loan to pay off one or more outstanding loans. Borrowers usually refinance in order to receive lower interest rates or otherwise reduce their repayment amount.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it says for people in debt struggling to pay off their loans, refinancing can also be used to get a longer term loan with lower monthly payments. In these cases, the total amount paid will increase as interest will have to be paid for a longer period of time. So I just wanted to read what refinance is.
So real quick, AJ, I want you to keep that thought. The key is, are you in a home that you can afford and you can build off of?
Right.
Because the reason why I'm stressing that is because my wife and I, we are also signing agents. We work with multiple different mortgage companies where we've done so much refinancing in 2021. We did about 6 figures just off the refinance companies sending us out. So we've seen rates from 5% go to as low as 3%.
Correct.
That's a big deal. That's hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month. But the key is understanding what your financial portfolio looks like and understanding, can I afford this home? Not just jumping into it because they're going to give you some money down. No, you have to understand what that interest rate is and how you can use it to your advantage. And also, don't think about refinancing because that's a Fed decision, right? So meaning we have no idea when this 7% number is going to change.
I can tell you when that will happen. Actually,
okay, go ahead.
Certain indicators.
Give me that number. That'll be dope.
I could tell you right now what they're doing is this, and the only reason that the Fed keeps on raising the rates, which I think we're going to see the cap, we're capping out. We're going to be there for another 6 to 9 month cycle. Mark my words. Come summer of next year, you will see lower interest rates, but you're not going to see 3%. Let me be honest with you. They did that.
So when you say lower, what are you saying?
5 to 6, 5 to 6, 5.5. It's going to float around 5.25, 5.5, 5. And
but what if my credit is 750 though, AG?
Doesn't matter. That's what the Fed is selling it for. They had interest rates at 0%, everybody. The Fed was lending the money to the banks. Banks don't have money. What they have is a portfolio of assets. They have your money that they're making money off of, that you're not making money off of. And to go back whether to rent or buy, basically it's like this. Do you want to make yourself rich or do you want to pay to make someone else rich? Own a home when you can, when you're capable. Like Trey said, and it's very important, think of it like a stock. If you're overpaying for Apple, Apple's worth 150 and you're paying 180, guess what? It's going to go drop down to 150, and that's what's going to happen. But the key point to know is that what Trey is talking about with these big companies like equity firms like BlackRock, they're buying up properties left and right. That should be an indicator. They're buying up properties left and right. They're buying up urbanizaciones. How do y'all say that in English? Like neighborhoods, right?
Buying that shit up.
Why are they doing this? Because if they own enough of it, they can start price fixing. They can set the number on what the price would be for a single family home because they own all the single family homes. Similar to the stock market. If you own enough of a stock or of a company, you can set the price of what that company should sell it for.
So how does that hurt the person who
makes it unaffordable?
It makes it so I'm renting. I'm paying you $2,200 to rent your house.
Yep.
How am I supposed to ever own my own shit?
Well,
when I'm paying you $2,200.
Well, here's the kicker about it. Because I want my $500,000 investment to be worth $800,000 or $900,000. So if I own enough of it and I'm not selling until I get my number, guess what's going to happen? There's no inventory. Why is there no inventory? Because people like myself that are on 3% loans that have $300,000 or $400,000 of equity in my house right now, I'm not selling because I know it's going to go higher.
True.
You know what I mean? And I'm at 3%. Why the hell? That's free money.
Right. The kicker is people who have been into their homes like me for 11 to 12 years at a 4%.
Yep.
And then if I want to sell, I can sell tomorrow.
But you got to buy somewhere.
The fucking rate is
exactly
95 fucking
That's what I'm saying. So whatever money you make off equity, you're going to lose it.
Exactly, because
all times
Rob's equity is ate up.
Unless, here's the kicker now, because I want our viewers and listeners to be educated. You can take that money and ride the rent wave, rent for a year, and wait until everything cools off, and then you can make the investment. Or you can say fuck it and go to another country and buy a house cash.
So that's
or somewhere that's what people are doing.
So
and that's what people are doing.
So check it out. That's what my neighbor did.
Yep.
My neighbor sold their home.
Mm-hmm.
They moved into an apartment around the corner. Meanwhile, they were working with a builder to get their home built, and their home is a fucking fortress.
Yep.
Okay, so it's huge, right? So now a lot of companies, they're letting you know, like, yo, we can sell it for you, but you're gonna have to move twice. You're gonna have to move into an apartment and relax a little bit. We're gonna lock in a rate for you. Your home is getting built, and then you move right into the actual home. So your equity is $300,000, $200,000, right? So you got $200,000 of free equity within the 10 years that you accumulated in that property. Now, me, I don't want to move twice, but if I have to, I will. But the kicker is the interest rate. If I'm at a 4% now, why would I move into a 7%?
Nope.
I'm gonna lose.
Hustling backwards.
But there's a hustle to it
in
now.
The fucking door.
But read the room now. If it's all about the rent game, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna sell my house. I'm gonna rent you my house. I'll
rent the house. But what about the equity, AG? That's my point.
I'm not touching the equity because it's gonna continue to rise.
Right. So when you gonna touch it?
I don't. That's the thing. What people don't seem to understand, and that you can apply this methodology to stocks, to businesses. Don't sell out. Don't sell out. Because you're getting rid of an asset. Build your portfolio. Know when it's time to sell if you have an exit strategy, or time to hold. If you have a low interest rate and a lot of equity, do you think that equity is not going to go up in 10 years?
No, the equity is going to go. But see,
of course.
You know the beauty of this 10-second conversation that we have is for people understanding how powerful equity is.
Of course.
And fuck those those beautiful single family homes that you will never own. They're betting on you to be stupid. And so, I'm getting you out of your apartment that you're paying $1,900 for. You're paying $2,200 for this single family home. It's a trick. They want you to stay there, pay them. They can raise their rent whatever they want. You're never going to be able to have an equity conversation because you are always paying somebody else for their own asset. So the beauty of the conversation is I could talk about, our equity accumulated. We never refinance since we've been in this house. The equity is fantastic.
Well, Trey,
so now
let me tell you what we did, right?
Interest rate. Go ahead, bro.
So you know how, like, when the and AG, I'm sure you remember when the interest rate was really low.
Yeah.
What we did was we refinanced, but what we did, sometimes you can refinance and now you like starting you're starting your loan over and all that type of stuff. But that's not what we did. So we refinanced
15.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart man. Yeah.
So we did that, and our monthly mortgage didn't go up that much, and then we paid the bi-weekly. So that
I was going to just say that.
So that turns into
you do bi-weekly, right? Yep. You get
so
to
that
drop
means,
it down.
So
that
means an ill strategy.
So that means
extra payment a year.
Exactly.
An extra payment a year drops down your overall interest rate, and you own the house. Now here's the kicker. I always want people to understand, if you have a low interest rate, do what E is doing. Do that additional payment or bi-weekly payments.
Additional payment,
because that gives you're paying off the interest rate quicker. But also keep in mind, you lose your tax benefit if you pay off your house. So unless you're in a certain stage of your life where you already have other properties or other things that can benefit you in a tax methodology, I wouldn't recommend buying out the house outright, especially if you're in a position like E. What E did was he caught lightning in a bottle. What I've done is I've caught lightning in a bottle. It would be very bad for me to get rid of this asset for a short-term gain. You know, I can make $350 right now if I sell my house. Easy. I also know that in next 5 to 10 years, that $350 really will be $500,000 by me doing nothing.
That's true. By waiting,
so, by being patient. Now, to Darius' point, he's asking, how do I make profit? Here's the kicker. I spend X amount of dollars in my mortgage. Let's say my mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI. It is $3,000 a month, right? Because of the size of the home, where it's located, I can rent my home easily for $4,000.
Easily.
So that means, Darius, I'm getting $1,000 of profit each month. But here's the kicker now, Darius.
That's on top of the rent.
That's on top of the mortgage payment. I'm still acquiring value in my home where I have an asset that I can borrow against. And it's something that's appreciating in value. Again, going back to my original point, it may be $350,000 profit if I were to sell right now, but in 5 to 10 years, I'm making $500,000, $600,000 off this house.
Easy.
So why wouldn't I take out a loan, buy another property, and do the same thing, or invest in my own business? You see what I'm saying? This is why home ownership is so powerful. Because if I were to cash out the chips right now and sell right now, that $350,000, like Trey said, I got to buy another house.
Yeah.
And if I buy another house, that's going towards 20% towards a down payment, where I'm doubling up my interest rate.
Listen to me.
So the house wins at that point.
Listen to me. Get you. You can. It's so many ways to win, even in a 7% market. Even if you get approved for a loan, you can house hack. You can house hack. If you can get approved for a 3-bedroom single family home, you can rent out. You can rent out the other rooms.
Group economics.
If you're not
Bro,
married,
you know, not because you all Trey. You know,
go ahead,
so I know 2 people, right? One of my friends purchased a house in Northwest Washington, D.C. And a single family house. Now, you know, most of the houses there are row houses. Well, they're single family, but they're like row houses.
Them shit's is worth a lot of money.
But he lives on the street where they're like literally single family homes, which is rare in DC.
Yeah, it was
right?
beautiful.
And so, in certain parts of DC anyway, right? And so he turned the he does Airbnb for the basement.
Bang.
Right. And so, and he has a renter that kind of, it's Airbnb, but she's kind of been there for like months or whatever. So it's working out for him. And I have another friend that also just got his basement done, and he's going to have renters there. So just to your point, Trey, go ahead and finish. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, bro.
That's the way to go.
Bro, so I found a person that knew a person. I got a couple dollars. I went to Baltimore. And listen, this for people, this is just putting something else inside of your brain. Think about your personal. Think about just you. Think about, okay, how can I make this shit work for me? Number one, Bigger Pockets on YouTube. Save it brainwashed me into thinking that I could be a flipper. I can make things happen. Let me tell you what happened. I got some money. I went to Baltimore. I bought a house for $23,000. Okay. I put in $10,000 just to rehab it. I got some vinyl. I got some carpet. I put in a new oven. Just networking, right? And I got a renter in there. I've never done this shit before in my life. But I did it because I was listening to people telling me how to do it. I put a renter in there. She was in there a couple of months. I got another renter. Cool. No problem. Everything's perfect. Now it was just this street that I was on was on the wire. Y'all seen the wire, right?
Yeah.
Yo, listen to me. The point that I'm saying is that real estate can change your entire life if you get into it with the right intention and don't over leverage yourself. I said I came into it in 23K, 23,000. I had my second renter in there. I had a guy. I put it up for sale. I bought it for 23. Was all in for 33. I tried to sell it for 52. I had a person from out of town say, I want to buy the house. I made $22,000 cash off of the investment, right? The point is that anything that you want to do, you can actually do it. So what I'm saying to say is for Darius, you are a young man, first time home buyer. DC has 10,000 in first time home buyer programs. Maryland as well. They will give you money to help you to get in. They have grants. You can get into
up and coming communities.
Up and coming communities. You can house hack house hack it, have people paying you rent, which will help you to pay down your mortgage. Even if you get in at a 7%. When it's time to refi next year, just like AG stated, you can refi it. You have a much lower rate, but you're still charged them the same rent. They'll help you pay down that property. You can stay there and then once you want to leave, you can leave and you can put a tenant in the room that you were sleeping in. And that's how you start to build your portfolio up. Right?
I have a question for you, Trey.
Go ahead, bro.
And your on your flip, when you flip that house, what are some of the pitfalls that you hit?
Location.
Yeah.
Don't get your ass shot. Don't get your ass shot, Playboy. So check it out. When I tell you that it was the wire. So everybody, I bought the house in the wintertime. Okay. I bought the house in the wintertime. I'm not going listen. I love all people. I bought the house when it was cold as shit outside. Let me tell you something. When you listening to Jim Rohn, let me tell y'all something. Caveat.
Hey, don't forget to get back to your point though, because I'm
No. I got you. No, I got you. Self-development, like you listen to all positive things when you trying to accomplish a goal, that shit works, bro. It was nothing that was gonna stop me from doing what I had to do. Okay, that's a whole other part. But check it out. I had my man Jason. Jason was my agent. Jason was taking me to all type of streets and stuff in Baltimore. I got into a house. It was cold as shit outside. My ambition was on 10,000, right? It was nobody on this street. Nobody. I go into the house. I'm like, yo, somebody will live here. I'm going to get somebody up in this joint. I got the carpet redone. I got the vinyl done. I got the oven replaced. I got the window replaced so a little baby won't fall out, all that shit. I got that shit done. I put it up on the market. Man, I had people hitting me up for a place to live. Everybody needs a place to live. That's key, right? Boom. I got a renter. So T, my pitfalls was once the weather changed and I came back to check on my property, it was 10,000 people outside on this street. When I tell you location, and I don't care if you in Pittsburgh, you in damn Zimbabwe, so my ambition was blinding me. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, what I'm saying is,
was you scared to go check on the house?
Hell no. Me, but check it out though, E. I wouldn't take you over there with me. I wouldn't take T with me. I wouldn't take AG with me because I was so committed to my property. I was getting off work. I was driving to Baltimore at 11 o'clock to meet my contractor because we had now one thing that B-More is strict on is this is just a little game. If you want to rent if you want to buy in Baltimore and rent, they have so many different inspectors. They're going to come check your yard. They're going to come check your door. They just get paid because there's so many people who come to Baltimore and pillage the whole community. They want to make sure that you're not a slumlord, right? So anyway, fast forward. What I would say is the reason they say location, just like AG was talking about, is big. You want to be in a safe neighborhood. You want to rent to people. You want them to stay there forever. If they want to raise a family there, you want them to be in a safe environment. But I was so eager and my ambition took over. I didn't even understand, like, yo, how was this place in the summertime? My home was right next to a Kingpin, which was right across the street. I could get my realtor Tanya on a phone. She would tell you. She called me. She said, "Hey Trey, I'm trying to show you a house, but do you know that you're living across the street from an open air drug market?" She said open air drug market to me on the phone. So the key is don't do what I did. Be smarter than me. Darius or whoever's on here who will listen to it a week from now, a year from now. If you want a house hack with your good credit, get that house, rent them rooms out to qualified people, right? And let them help you to pay down your rent. And when it's time to refi, you get you a lower rate, and then you can move and do it again in another house. You can keep doing it. You can become a multimillionaire in real estate if you just follow the simple methods. It's actually called the BRRRR method, the buy, rent, repair, rent. That's all it is. Excuse me, buy, repair, rent method. Buy, repair, rent. So what? If it's in an okay neighborhood, you can get loans on repairs. Have your renters help you to pay off the repairs. In about 2 to 3 years, you can refinance that property, get a lower rate, get that cash, and keep renting and repeating. And that's how you can do it. Darius, bro, you in a perfect position where you have this information now. I told you to go to Bigger Pockets on YouTube. Go to episode 1. It takes you all the way through episode 400. That's how I got started. So either you're trying to flip properties, you're trying to house hack, or you're trying to buy your own personal property. It tells you how interest rates work. It tells you how loans work. Man. It's just, bro, it's so many opportunities out here now where you can win in real estate early.
I have another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, T.
All right. Going back to the question, is it better to rent or buy now with the current hike in interest rates? What would you say to the person that says right now they'd rather rent for the next 1 to 3 years until the interest rates come down? What would you say to that person?
I would say so it's very situational, but off the top of my head, I would say wait. I would say wait, but also not just wait. Wait with a person that is seasoned in this area, right? We were actually going to have, true story, we were actually going to have 2 people on tonight that we're going to have on later, but unfortunately they had a very, very important meetings tonight that were already pre-scheduled, where we're going to talk about how waiting will help you. Because when you jump in, if your credit is good and the interest rate is still 7%, that's not helping your damn good credit rating.
Exactly.
So if you feel what I'm saying, so I would say wait, be patient, stack your money up. Once that rate comes down to, let's say, a favorable 4.5% to 5%, that's saving you about $600 per month on an actual note. What you think about that, AJ?
Well, I know I would say I would say wait. Definitely wait, because I think the interest rate will get a little lower. But my advice is that while you're waiting, make sure that before you even apply for the loan, make sure that you have everything straight, right? Let's say that you do owe a credit card, right? Make sure that you're paying on it. Because it's really no need to apply for the loans, in my opinion, if you have a lot of debt. Because the only thing that's going to happen is you're either not going to get the loan or your interest rate is going to be high anyway, because your credit is not how it's supposed to be. So if I would say anything, if just make sure that your bills and stuff are taken care of and you don't really owe a lot. I'm talking, I don't care if it's tickets, any of that stuff. They pull up
it's all coming
stuff.
up.
Yes, all of it's coming up, and they're gonna go over it. And if you didn't pay it, you got to give a reason. The reason you didn't pay it, and when you gonna pay it, and it's just so if you can, while you're waiting, this is the perfect time to get all your finances straight before you even apply for the loan, so you can get your credit straight. And then I'm gonna give my story, and this is a quick story, ahead, right? Bro. And so I remember when I had met my wife or whatever, and I just remember that my credit
back in the 90s.
Right. I remember that my credit was some shit, right? It just was. And it was because, I was renting. I wasn't looking for a house at that point. The car I had was paid off. So I wasn't even building any credit or anything like that. And I just remember that my wife had came to the table with her credit straight. And I didn't want to be the reason why we couldn't get what we needed to get. And so previous to that, one of my mans, I don't know what people use now, but he had said, man, get on freecreditreport.com.
There you go.
And because that's what I did. And I'm gonna be honest, I had a 500 credit score at that time. This was like 13 years ago, right? And that site, I haven't been on it in years, but that changed everything for me. It told me what my credit score was. I pulled my credit report. I had stuff on there that wasn't even me, that I had to dispute. Because if you never check your credit report, sometimes you can have other people's bills on your credit, right? And so I had to do that. I got that straight. It showed me what I could pay off to make my credit score get higher. It was just very informational. And I went from like a 500 to high sevens at that time. And that really worked out for me. And if you don't have your credit right, those sites are perfect to get your credit right, because if you don't have your credit right, in my opinion, I'm not even going to try to get a loan, because either I'm not going to get it, or if I do get it, my interest rate is going to be crazy. So that's just a good tool to actually use, to get yourself together before you even apply for a loan. And also, AG has given there's some links that he gave that we have, and I'm gonna try to figure out a way to share them, because the links they're really good resources in terms of applying for loans and just stuff on, buying a home, what to look for. So I'm going to try to put it on our Instagram, which is...
and let me break that down, because for all the listeners, get educated. NerdWallet, bankrate.com. There's a bank rate mortgage calculator, so you can see how much you can afford. Learn about this. Credit is a piece of it, but it's not all the piece of it. You have FHA loans, first-time home buyer programs that can go as low as $620, as long as you have 0 times 30, which is no late payments within the last 12 months. They have a lot of ways that you can get a loan, but here's what's important. Can you afford the loan?
Can you afford the loan?
Also, because they'll allow you to be approved for more than you can actually afford.
That's not
crazy as it sounds, but they will do that to you, because they can always take your home, because they're taking that asset from you. So be careful. Please understand, at least have 6 months to a year PITI saved up. So if you're going to decide, I'm going to rent, save your money. Live within your means, save your money, invest, have assets to your name, buy some stocks, have 401k. It's free money. A lot of companies do company match. If you're a UPS driver, you're rich now. Do something with that money. Save it, stack, and then have that ownership of home. Because let me tell you, it's all on a case-by-case situational basis. If you have a dual income, if you can rent out your home, whatever the case may be, there are several ways that you can make that purchase now, because it all depends on what Trey just said. Location, location, location. So if I can buy the worst home in the best neighborhood, that's what I did with my personal home. I got a home that I had to do some work on. And the money I got has multiplied many times over.
7 million.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
Everything has to be on a case-by-case investment. This is an investment into your wealth. This is something that is going to impact you. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So if interest rates are high,
grandchildren,
keep in mind, interest rates fluctuate. That's why you lock in a 30-year rate when it's low, like a lot of people were able to do during this great time and lightning in the bottle, right? But now where it's a little bit more volatile, play around with it. Make sure that you can afford a home. Make sure you have a plan. And make sure that if it's not the best time for you, don't stress it. But just keep in mind, the interest rates going up, they're trying to bring the home values down. And it's already working in certain parts of the United States of America, but it ain't working in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, because my home is still appreciating. Everybody's home is appreciating still when the interest rates are going up. So let's see how to ride this. We may go down 5%, but then in a year or so, it's going to start appreciating 8%, 10% a year. That's an actual possibility. So just know what you're getting yourself into and get with people that know what they're talking about.
So listen, we have great information at fertilegroundrealty.com, where it talks about how you can get grants in the Maryland area. Sir. Okay, in the Maryland area, they have Maryland mortgage programs, and a pathway to purchase can both be found at MP, which is M for money, P.Maryland.gov. MMP.Maryland.gov, where you can talk about all of the grants you can get. Now, who we got in the building tonight? You dig? Hey, look, we're gonna start charging people to listen to the Rec Room, man. We're doing a lot over here. You dig? we got Miss Ladybug. We got Miss Pretty Reds, who cussed me out today, but it's all good. She know I love her. That's my girl. Pretty Reds in the building. We got Nicole Mayfield, who in here causing trouble. She telling me to be quiet when AG talking. Who do you think she playing with? What is she playing with, dog? I'll block her out of this show, you dig? We got my man Darius, the author, in the building with us. My man Darius. And Darius said Jay-Z was overrated, see? He said Jay-Z was overrated. Anyway.
I don't agree, but let's keep going.
We got my girl Coco Melon that was in the house with us tonight. We appreciate you. Okay? We got Karate Jane. That's a mean name. Karate Jane was in the studio with us tonight. She was in here doing her thing. Okay? We got family in the house. We got Miss Donnie. Miss Donnie in the Rec Room.
Miss Donnie.
First of all, Donnie was late. I don't appreciate that. She's talking about she out of town. She got the app. She got Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear all that, Donnie. You got to be here on time all the time. You dig? So who else we got in here with us tonight? We have. Hold on, y'all. We got a lot of scrolling to do. You dig? So that is it for tonight. She said she had to pick up her daughter. But the Wi-Fi still work when you got to pick your daughter up, Donnie. So listen, y'all. We appreciate all of y'all. Take us home, E.
Definitely appreciate it. This is our 29th episode, so we'll be on 30 next
Champagne next week for the 30.
You know, you can catch the pod on anywhere pods are available. I'm trying to get on Apple Podcasts. Every time I do it, I think it's something wrong with the site, or I don't know. But I'm gonna get it there. But
it's racial,
you got on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Pods. We try to drive where we want the main traffic is YouTube. The Rec Room Pod on YouTube. We have an IG page. Follow us on there, the Rec Room Pod. In that IG page, we have the link to the YouTube that has all of the episodes. In September, I think the 17th, one of those days, we're gonna film the actual first in-person on camera podcast. Looking forward to that, man. We've been saying that for a long time, but when you talk about something, you end up talking it into fruition and it becomes a reality. Manifestation. And that's what we've been doing, so you can put faces with the voices. And I just want to thank everybody again. Listen to the pod, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's build up this momentum that we have. Thank everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Peace. Appreciate y'all.
Hey.